Today, all cigarette packets in Senegal must by law feature graphic warnings about the dangers of smoking. The packaging is to include shocking photos of people suffering from smoking-related illnesses. The BBC's Arwa Barkallah has been finding out more.
Shocking photographs like this must now legally feature on all cigarette packets. A government survey of young people smoking habits revealed the need for urgent action.
For the young boys at school, it is more at college. 20% of them are smoking. When you see girls, it's 10%. We don't want to wait for this to be 50 or more percent. We want this to stop.
There are lots of smokers in West Africa. Sierra Leone has the most with 60%. Mauritania, Mali and Burkina Faso have an average number of 38.9% of the population who smoke. Senegal ranks 5th with 23%, but the country is taking the lead on prevention. Senegalese smokers' reactions to the new packets are mixed.
The new regulations make the risk linked to cigarettes pretty clear. There's absolutely no upside to smoking.
I did know the consequences before I started smoking. I knew that cigarettes killed little by little. But sometimes I say to myself that God is the one who decides if I die or not.
The people who decided to put these images on the packets did the right thing. They show us the risks of smoking. So if people keep on buying cigarettes and keep on smoking, it will be their business.
I just bought this cigarette, like most Senegalese, without seeing the packet. The new packaging may not be seen by many smokers.
In Senegal, many kiosks are paid by tobacco giants. Arwa Barkallah, BBC News.
Well, to talk a bit more about that, I'm joined by Bintu Kamara, who's the Africa Director for the organization Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. Thank you, Bintu, for joining us. Tell us how significant this move by Senegal is. Is it going to change the number of people who are smoking?
I think the move is incredibly significant and important, not only for Senegal as a country, but also for the rest of the region in Africa. Now, you got to remember that 6% of the world's smokers live in Africa, which translates into approximately 77 million people. So instilling and implementing very strong, important tobacco control laws and provisions, such as the smoke-free that you just reported on, is extremely important for tobacco control and for the health of its people, of the country's people and citizens.
Well, as great a development as it is, how many other African countries are likely to follow suit?
You know, we are hoping that as many countries in Africa follow suit. I mean, that's been the case for other countries in the rest of the world. It started with 1, 2, 10, and 15 or more. And now we are looking at Africa, or we know that the tobacco industry is looking at the continent of Africa as its new playground for increasing or maintaining their profits. So we are knowledgeable, or we are working closely with governments in Africa to understand and realize how incredibly dangerous the product is. And as those governments are being more and more aware, we are hoping, and actually a lot of them, just like Senegal or Uganda or the Gambia, are taking a strong stand against the industry and saying enough is enough. We will no longer accept our citizens and our public health to be suffering as it is right now.
Very briefly, how difficult is it for governments to take a stand against tobacco companies that often have almost unlimited resources and aren't afraid of long legal challenges?
Yeah, you've said it, Nancy. I think that's the major problem. As tobacco industries and the multinational companies they have the deepest pockets to do whatever they want to do, and that includes litigating with a country So that is a big problem for governments. But again, as I said, there are ways, there are resources, there are facts that governments are listening to and using today to say that they will not take profit over public health, rather the opposite.
All right, thank you for speaking to us. Bintu Kamara from Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids.
Thank you, Nancy.